So, um, but next subject's a little bit more exciting for Detroit Lions fans, and I've seen a lot of mixed emotions on this. Jeff Okudah was traded to the Atlanta Falcons for a fifth round pick, and I just want to start with this. I publicly ripped on the Jeff Okudah selection. I originally wanted Isaiah Simmons, which he's been an all right ball player. I mean, neither one of them have panned out. Granted, I'd still take Simmons over Okudah. But that being said, that's outside of what I really wanted to say. I just wanted to say I called out Jeff Okudah for what he was early last year. People wanted to tell me I was crazy. He was locked down, but really he just has a safety following him. So basically, they were double teaming whatever wide receiver he was on, and that's why he locked up guys like Justin Jefferson. And if you guys don't think that's true, then and you truly believe he was locked down, then you're crazy because we just traded him for a fifth round pick.
Oh,
We basically just said we don't want you around next year, even though we can afford you. We'd rather just, select some random dude in the fifth round, and we think he'll have more of an impact than you. So for all those people who just felt the need to correct me or argue with me in my comment section, I just had to put that out there. But that being said, what does this mean? So this trade, it frees up 5 million in cap space. Take that for what it will. It doesn't really mean much. Um, you get a fifth round pick. Doesn't really mean much. Some people thought we could get more. Those were probably the people who thought I was dumb for calling out Okudah for not being the player that people were claiming he was.
jeez.
And then some people, uh, they didn't really care. They were kind of happy. So I align in the section of I don't really care. It doesn't really mean much. He was a good depth for this season, but at the same time, you weren't bringing him back on 10 mil on his 10 mil fifth year option. So you might as well get something for him. And if you're gonna draft corner, then you really might as well because you're probably gonna have to cut one of these guys, and it's not gonna be Jerry Jacobs, and it's not gonna be your rookie, and it
Mhm.
sure as hell is not gonna be the two guys you signed this offseason.
Yeah.
So, it made sense to me.
Yeah, I think the organization was just like, all right, we've tested you out, you've been given opportunities, and we just feel like we need to move on from you. And I think it was best for both sides. It's good for him to get a fresh start somewhere else, and honestly, good for the Lions to kind of move on and start to begin this like new era of Lions football for real.
I 100% agree. It's just another guy from the old regime gone, but I
Mhm.
also I am cheering for the guy, but
Ah.
at the same time, there is some clarity knowing that before the Lions drafted him at 3, I was saying this kid would be a bust. I just didn't like him. There was just something about the film and his slow 40. I just didn't like the pick originally, and now it's all coming to fruition. All the crap that I was given for, my take on it, but it's all coming through. But that being said, I want to go from one Buckeye to the next Buckeye.
Ooh.
Um, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson are visiting with the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions currently are picking at number 6, and that's what makes this very interesting. These two guys are projected to be taken in the top 5, if not the top 3. So, do you think the Lions are heavily contemplating trading up, or is this all smoke?
It seems like a lot of the interactions and the things they're doing would indicate that because, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson are two guys that will definitely be going probably top five. So if they're trying to talk with them, it might be something that they're heavily considering. I don't know how legit they are about it, but, it's definitely in the back of their minds. You're not going to talk to a guy like that if you don't at least have something to think about come draft day. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. But, maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. I think they should go after Anderson if they do something like that, not Stroud, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ohio State quarterbacks. Now, I haven't taken a stance on CJ Stroud because if I'm being honest, as much as I don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks, I haven't really done any homework on him. So I'm not going to make that claim on him. Uh, for those who don't know,
Going
some
to for
of you
switch.
guys know, I did do my homework on Justin Fields before he came out, and I said he was a bust because he was a one read guy and couldn't read a defense. And his biggest flaw has been his passing game and not being able to read defense. So for that, I want to take my flowers once again because I know for sure that you guys let me know when I'm wrong. So it's my job now to let you guys know when I was right. So but I have not done my homework on CJ Stroud. I just do not like Ohio State quarterbacks. So I'm not making a claim on CJ Stroud because I haven't done my due diligence. But
Um,
that being that outside the picture, um, I legit think the Lions are thinking about taking a quarterback. I've been saying I expect them to trade up for Will Anderson. But that being said, if I think the reason they're seeing these quarterbacks is if one falls, because they got a visit with Hendon Hooker too, and now there's talk about him being the number 3 quarterback on a lot of people's boards, meaning he's gonna have to get selected at that 6th pick. And I feel like you only have so many top 30 visits. Like, I feel they're not wasting them.
you think?
I think they're actually heavily considering a quarterback at 6, or
Uh,
if by some way something happens where a dude just falls.
ah, I don't know if I'd love to trade up for a quarterback. I mean, not that this year has a bad class, but I just feel like you'd have to give up some things too to get to that. What are you
Yeah.
giving up is really what you have to talk about.
And
Who are
what
you
you're
taking?
giving up is you're probably trading away. If you're trading up, you're probably taking that Cardinals pick.
Mhm.
Unless if you want Stroud, then you want
Ah,
uh the Houston's pick, I think. And you're talking about giving up 6. And Houston, I can't even see a world Houston trades back. But if they do, you're giving up 6, your second, a next year's first,
mm,
and
yeah.
maybe a late round pick. I don't even know. Like you're giving up a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're going like the Stroud route, you're giving up a lot to develop a quarterback behind a quarterback that you already have.
Yeah,
So
which is why I do not see that happening.
yeah, I just don't feel like that'd be smart on their behalf. I can see Anderson because he's a guy that can come in, make an immediate impact to your defense.
And you
But
won't have to sell a house to trade up for a guy like Anderson. It's more these quarterbacks where everybody wants one.
exactly, and I think Stroud's a pretty good quarterback. You said you didn't do your homework on him, but he's a good quarterback. He's a great pocket passer when he's clean, even when he's flushed. He has the ability to get out of the pocket and extend plays. The only thing that was the knock on him in college was that he didn't use his legs enough. And that
Mhm.
much is true. I think we saw a little bit of it from him in the Georgia game in the college football playoff. But,
Yeah, he showed it a lot in that game.
it felt like most of the time he was more hesitant, and I feel like him using his legs in that game was more of I have nothing to lose at this point. So will he be able to be that pocket passer and be able to escape with his legs? And if he can, I think he'll be actually a pretty good fit for the NFL. But if he's just going to remain that kind of pocket passer, the NFL moves a lot faster than college and the teams you played versus Ohio State. So it'll be definitely interesting to see with him. But as far as the Lions are concerned, I think Anderson would be smarter to trade up for if you were to do that.
And man, I can't. I just am thinking like Anderson and Hutch on the two sides. That is one crazy edge duo, and Aaron Rodgers better best be happy that he will not be in Green Bay anymore because I don't know if he would make it 17 games. But
But what's taking him
I,
so long?
I guess they're still trying to work out a deal.
I
Hey,
guess
dude, if the deal doesn't fall through, then I'm just saying he might be heading to retirement, which is probably
probably
the biggest win the Lions could take is just sending him to retirement.